Israel isn't strong enough to attack Iran. The Israeli government is ramping up its rhetoric, but political and military constraints are too great. Not for the first time in recent memory, Israel wants the world to know it is ready and willing to militarily strike Iran, alone if it has to. In recent weeks, Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz has twice spoken of Israel's readiness to strike Iran militarily to prevent it from advancing its nuclear program. I do not rule out the possibility that Israel will have to take action in the future in order to prevent a nuclear Iran, Israel Defense Forces, IDF, Chief of General Staff Aviv Kochavi claimed that the progress in the Iranian nuclear program has led the IDF to speed up its operational plans for an attack on the country and that a recently approved defense budget is meant to address this. For his part, Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett has said his country is ready to act alone against Iran if it ever feels the need to do so. He made the remarks after an attack on an Israeli-managed tanker off the coast of Oman, for which Tel Aviv and its allies blamed Iran. To be sure, Israel has in the past carried out relatively limited operations against Iran, such as raids on Iranian allies in Syria and nuclear sabotage, and may continue to do so in the future. But to what extent should we believe Tel Aviv is truly ready and willing to launch a strike on Iran because of advances in the Iranian nuclear program, knowing full well that this is likely to push the two countries and their allies into war? The political and military constraints on Israeli decision-makers suggest such a military showdown is highly unlikely.